You're live.
I'm live.
Hello, can you guys hear us? Uh-oh, I'm seeing unable to connect to chat on my end, so I'm going to pull up this and chat here.
Hmm.
And we'll see this here. Sorry, guys, I'm just setting stuff up. I know we're live. 1 second. You might hear our dogs barking. So, who do we have here? I can't even see. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I got my whole... Okay. All right.
Technical difficulties.
All right, so let me make sure I can see the chat. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kim. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Mita. My eyes. Hi, Chris. There's not many. There's 10. Okay, so we have 10 of you guys in here now. So Debbie's here, as you can see. We are sitting here to do a live Q&A. So this is a Q&A session. Wait, can you hear me? That's the question. Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure, because last time I had issues with this microphone. So somebody tell me if you can hear me. That way I'm not talking and you're not hearing me. Awesome, perfect. So yeah, this is Q&A night. This is not a session. We have a lot of new patrons this month, but I don't know how many of them are actually in the live, if any. We have some YouTube members here in the live. The YouTube members have the little symbols next to their names in the chat. So I can see that, but I'm going to have to move this. Actually, we'll just use this screen. She's looking at herself making faces. All right, so I'm trying to set this up so I can see everything. Because let me try to refresh this page. No, I better not, because that's the live connection. All right, hi Kim, so you're new to YouTube, awesome. Gina Russell, I like Debbie's shirt.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I just uploaded the new video a couple hours ago to members, and it went live publicly a few minutes ago. So if you haven't seen that, that's a pretty cool video. If any of you have the Spiritus app from Keith Weldon, you can use that mode, I guess you want to call it, the phaser and the 2 and 3 banks, number 2 and 3. And just make sure you record and review, and you might get more response than normal, because Keith discovered that when he was messing with his app the other day, I guess. And then Josh tried it, and then I tried it, and it's working really well. Yeah, so this is Debbie's first live. She keeps making faces at herself. I don't know why. Chris Flynn, Ed has been in and out of my sessions last many months. He came back last week. I asked if it was your Ed. He said it was the same one. It seems like Ed makes the rounds to a lot of people. There were some other people I was watching on the ITC Collective who have Ed coming through. So Ed is making the rounds for sure. He's been through Josh's sessions. So let's see. Welcome, Debbie. So do you like stuff?
Thank you.
I'm a new YouTube and patron member, but not a new Huff subscriber. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, if you have any questions about paranormal, spirit boxes, spirit apps, communication, anything really, if you have any questions for Debbie here, this is her first live. She's usually not on camera.
No.
So we're here. So the camera's working well. So I saw that there it is. It's a light reflection is what that is. There's a light reflection on this side of Debbie right here. You can see it. See, it's translucent. We were trying to figure out what that was because I don't see it in person.
I don't know what it could be.
So it has to be something with the lens. No, it's not with the lens. But it's nothing paranormal. It's some kind of light reflection that we can't see in person.
Yeah,
it's really strange.
It's weird.
Anyway, I can't seem to find apps for Apple phones. The one I talked about today in today's video, Spiritus, is on Apple. It's on iOS. He makes really the only in my opinion, the only Keith Weldon makes the only really good apps for iOS, and I don't know why that is. I think iOS is harder to program for, maybe, or the approval process. Or on Android, you can get anything approved, and there's a lot of crap on Android as far as apps go. There's a lot of good ones too, but um, so that's on, excuse me, iOS. Let's see. Actually, in the new video, if you go to the description, I link directly to the iOS and Android versions. Chris Flynn, do you ever have anything happen to you? As in, I hear spirits sit down on my bed, walk across the floor. These days, no. I don't know why they don't. Well, I kind of know why. They used to shake the bed a little bit and make few noises here and there. And then on locations, I've heard footsteps, but I had asked them to not do that a long time ago, and they stopped ever since I asked. So yeah, I don't get that anymore. Usually they know when I sit down to do a session that that's when it is they get to work, right? My guides and helpers, and then the other spirits come in. And I don't know if guides keep them out at night while I sleep, because yeah, it's really uneventful in this house unless I'm doing a session. Oh, here we go. Here's a question for you. What was it like for Debbie? What was it like going out on location, like to the Bel Air house, say, or with Katrina, or with
Oh,
Keith?
it's always great going out on location. It's
short answer.
short answer. I don't know why I did.
She's camera shy,
Yeah,
so
I'm camera shy.
remember,
yeah,
this is
I
her
don't-
first time. This is like my 80th time, so I'm used to talking to the camera. They call my bedroom, but yeah,
yeah,
she's. What was your favorite? Say, Bel Air house, the Keith and Carissa outings, the Katrina Cooper outings, the outings we've done on our own.
Yeah.
Like, what's
my favorite? I think as much as I like going out with other people, and I love Keith and Carissa and Katrina, meeting up with friends. I think my favorite one was I don't remember the name of that hotel, but the top half. It was just us. The top half of the hotel was like uninhabitable.
Oh, that was in Arizona, right?
Was that?
It was like was it the Gadsden Hotel?
Border
maybe.
Town.
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
We went to a hotel in Arizona. It was maybe 4-hour drive.
Yeah, maybe 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, it was a border town.
Yeah, it was a border town, and it was like an old, like really nice hotel, and the
beautiful
lobby
stained glass.
was amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah.
But the whole upper part of the hotel, I guess the second half of the floors were uninhabitable, and they had like employees living in some of the rooms, but there was like it was run down up there. Yeah. I wonder if it's still there in operation.
I don't know, because like it was
the rooms had no heat, so they brought in space heaters.
But it was the first 3 floors was the only ones that were kept like nice. That the rooms where everything was kept well, and everything else was like just in shambles.
Those are the ones they would rent out. Yeah. So
yeah, that was my favorite location. But that was, I think.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that video again. It's been a few years, I think. But
that was the one where we kept hearing different noises in the hallways.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, that was a very interesting hotel.
It
was cold, but it was interesting. Yeah. Ashley. Oh, here we go. Chris Flynn. They call my bedroom my office as I do PC work from there. Isn't that funny how they call rooms like what we would call them? Like they always call this my office, because at one time, especially when I started, this was my office. I had my computers. I did my work in here, and I would also do sessions. So I would ask them which room they liked better. A lot of times they would say the office. Sometimes they would say the kitchen. And then I moved to another room in the house, which was way too small. And so I moved it now back in here where there's more space for the camera and light and all that stuff. So yeah, they do know the rooms that we go in, it seems. Ashley B, I've been scratched before. I was at my best friend's house. I was pretty scared. Yeah, that would be a scary experience. Getting physically touched or scratched. That's pretty rare though. Most of those scratches like you see on TV are fabricated, but it's a real thing. It does happen, but it's super rare. Kim, my daughters and I hear and see things without gear, but you have to own your space for sure. Rules. Yep, it's true.
Yeah, even going back to like once you set boundaries, like in the bedroom when because we had that happen where they shook the bed.
Hmm.
But once you set boundaries and said, once we go to bed, that's bedtime.
Yeah,
That stopped
she's
happening.
experienced the bed shaking when
Yeah.
she first moved in here years ago, because it used to happen before she moved in, and then it happened while she was here, I think
Hmm.
twice, and then I just
Yeah.
asked them to not do that while we sleep, and it never happened again.
But you were so funny though, because I woke up because I felt it, and I woke up and I was like, "Do you feel that?" And you're like, "Just go back to sleep. It's fine. Just go back to sleep." And then he told me in the morning that, of course, I
I
felt it,
didn't
but
want
I
her to
didn't
get
want you to get
scared,
scared.
so
So
yeah, that was the first
yeah,
time. Have you been to Canada? Oh,
yes,
somebody answered. Yes, I've seen a video where Steve and Josh were in Canada. That was a
hmm
fun trip
yeah, I
too,
was there too.
actually.
Yeah, but yeah,
That was a
yeah,
fun
it was
trip
fun.
too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Whistler.
Whistler.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, Canada's beautiful. I would love to
We
go
were
back.
invited by a friend, and
Yeah,
she had this big cabin, and
it's amazing. Yeah,
we did a lot of sessions and spirit work. It
yeah,
was a good memory.
yeah.
I very much like this room you're in now. It's comfortable. Yeah, I'm still not 100% finished. There's a couple little finishing touches and things I need to do. I'm going to put some curtains up over this window. I'm going to put some lighting back here for the wall. Possibly some other shelves in on the other side of the room here. But it's pretty much what you see is what you're going to get. We need to get different pillows because they are too dark. And I noticed this couch looks very dark in video. So I'll get a couple lighter pillows to pop it out. Have you visited the Oliver House in Bisbee, Arizona? Was there a few years ago and had some amazing experiences there. No, I haven't. I actually forgot about that location. I heard about it years ago. So thanks for reminding us
I
because,
should write that. I
yeah,
need to write it
Debbie, I'm
down.
sure Debbie will write it down.
Yeah,
So the Oliver House.
Oliver House.
I'll make sure that we try to visit there because we're like probably 5 hours from Bisbee. It's not a short
Okay.
trek, but it's not super long either. I have a question about the SCD2. How do you purchase it for Windows? I tried, but wasn't able to get the download link. GhostHunterApps.com sells that. I have nothing to do with the sales support service. I make not a cent on any app with my name on it. You would have to message them. I know Anthony, who runs and owns Ghost Hunter Apps. He's been in the hospital. He's sick.
Yeah.
But you should get the download link and then a serial number a day or two later. I think the last I heard was his son was kind of
Yeah.
running it and trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, they're just a little backlogged because he's been sick,
Yeah.
so you just have to be a little patient. That's
Yeah,
all.
I don't know any status update on that. It's been like a week or a week and a half because he's still not online.
No, he's still in the hospital. He's still. You
We'll
just have to
get
be patient.
I get an
That's
update
yeah,
on that. But yeah, that's
yeah,
ghosthunteraapps.com.
yeah. Because his son was trying to do everything himself.
Yeah,
So
and it's only made for Windows, that app. Okay. Oh, these twitchy, glitchy chat messages here.
now I know what you're talking about
Yeah,
when you're in here.
just
Because when
saw
I'm on the
it.
other side and watching, like you guys are, when you hear Steve say, "Oh, it just pop," like he misses when
Yeah,
he says
the
he
chat
misses and then
flies
it
up and
flies
I
up.
miss a
I
bunch.
just saw it. It does. It just goes bloop, and he misses it a lot. So I see it.
Truth is beauty, photographic art. So far, I set boundaries by letting them know that only those filled with love are allowed in my home. Yeah, set the intent, set the boundaries, and it also is a lot to do with our belief. If you believe house cleansing is going to work, it's going to work. It's not going to be the sage that's knocking them out. It's your belief and the power of that intent using that sage. So same thing, like when I set the boundaries in there, I did it with love and respect and asked them kindly, and I knew that that would probably work, and it did, and I haven't had a problem since. We are going to a 6-hour lock-in at Waverly Hills. Any tips or know anything I should take with me for a 6-hour adventure? It'll probably be cold in there. Now, I've never been there. That's one of my places I've been wanting to go, but every year I check and I'm way too late and they sell out for the year way in advance. I will get there. We will get there one day, but I hear
Eventually.
it's cold and dirty. So make sure you're bundled up because we're now getting into, the winter season. But yeah, I mean, that's really about it. Bring an EVP recorder if you have one. Bring whatever you use for communication if you have anything, whether that's an app, a radio, Make sure you have a way to record instead of just relying on playing it live there, because you won't hear most of the replies live. I know I say that a lot and a lot of people probably get sick of it, but each time I upload a video, every time, even though I say these things over and over, I get people saying, well, that's fake because spirits wouldn't only speak English. Well, I've explained why spirits speak English. So I make my points over and over again because it seems random people who find my videos and they don't see the old ones, they have all these questions. But there I am getting off topic again. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, like
Waverly
whatever,
Hills
the
website.
Waverly Hills. Yeah, so it should be fun. I'm envious. So let me know how it goes. Let us know how it goes. Ashley, there's a spirit of a little girl here at my house. She loves my cat Callie. Sometimes I hear the girl talking to Callie, and Callie softly purrs. Wow, yeah. Cats seem to be able to see spirits, it seems like. Some dogs also seem to be. That's the thing, we can't prove it, right? Anthony from Ghost Hunter App's been in hospital, so they hadn't been sending out download links. I went through the same thing. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to check in on that. But yeah, he's definitely in the hospital. He was really, really, really sick with a serious ailment. So here we are. I love the special room. Thank you, Melinda. Hello, Robin. All right. I'm still having trouble finding or connecting with my guide at this point. I think I would have more of a connection with a spirit animal. Who says it's not a spirit animal that's your guide? I'm open to that as well. But if you did that meditation about finding your guide that I posted over at Patreon, I would try it at least once a week until you feel you found your guide. For me, it worked the first time. For some, it works the first time. For some, it works, it takes several tries. So just try to really, you probably already do, but try to focus as intently as you can when you do that meditation. And yeah, I would suggest doing it again, though. Great session tonight. Thank you. We got lucky on this trip, Steve. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get into that location. But I know a lot of people who go all the time, and I'm like, I should just stick with you, right? You take me with you. Here's a question for Debbie. Debbie, have you always had an interest in communication with spirit as well?
With communication. So obviously before Steve and I reconnected, I never did any spirit communication. So probably no. But like when I was little, I had a Ouija board, and I was always interested in ghost movies and things of that nature. So in a different way, I guess.
Yeah. Like she wasn't really aware of the complexities
Right.
of it until she came here and saw what I did, and it scared her. I'll tell you that.
It did in the beginning. It absolutely did.
It scared her. But now she's fine.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Once I knew there was nothing to be afraid of. Yes.
Yeah. Well, there were some times that were a little scary, but we've gotten through that.
Well,
so.
Yeah.
I may go from a Windows laptop to an Apple. Most of the software from Huff Paranormal is for Windows only. Again, I don't make software, so Ghost Hunter Apps makes it, and those apps with my name on it are apps that I helped him with the implementation, the ideas, the app itself, but I'm not a programmer, so I just basically, for Anthony, said, here's an idea, you can put my name on it, and because it worked, so if it was a good app, I'm like, you could put my name on it, and if it was my idea. But yeah, they're all Windows from Ghost Hunter Apps, and if I was a programmer, I would concentrate on making apps for iOS and Android. That seems to be obviously the biggest market for those, but I have no idea how to program apps. So I have the ideas, but I don't know how to do it. Okay. My little Pomeranian Precious, who passed 3 years ago, started being in several sessions. Excuse me. I'm type of person, anything is possible in life. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
My dog Scrubby has come through a few times, and other people's dogs have come through my sessions and their sessions. So there is, and when I remember doing a DR60 session, and I said, or I asked, are our dogs on the other side in spirit form? And the answer is always yes. So, you know, there's all kinds of theories. Some people have said, well, how do you know dogs aren't reincarnated human souls and they go into a dog? I mean, who knows? Anything is possible, but again, all dogs know that haven't been taught otherwise. All they know is love. Um, I mean, they're the most loving creatures on earth that I'm aware of. Love and peace to you both. Thank you. I have to be on the road now. We'll just be watching, but if you get time, please talk to us about your art choices in the background. They are beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, all the crosses and this artwork you see.
Yeah.
This, let me see if you can see it. Oh, we'll move out of the way. Yeah, this is Archangel Michael. This was hand painted, and there's a whole. They have one with every archangel that have been hand painted, except they're a little pricey. What was this?
It was $240.
$240 for this, and I was like, I want all of them, right?
Mhm.
But I couldn't do that. These are all hand painted crosses here, and I'm eventually going to get some to fill all the whole wall that's exposed. So those will be growing the collection, and and it's painted kind of like a grayish, light lavendery blue, and sometimes in video it comes off as a different color. I'm still trying to get the lighting right. But it was made, this room, I made this room because I needed more space. And also I wanted a room that was very comfortable. Whereas the smaller back room, I'd kind of get cramped up in there and it would take my focus away. It would get overly hot in there. And I feel like if I move my arms, I'd be hitting the walls. It's not really that small, but it was pretty cramped when you put a camera and everything in there. So this is like a music room, a meditation room, a session room. And it's just meant to be a comfortable kind of spiritual place. So yeah, that was the idea. We had no idea what it was going to look like, so we kind of just winged it, really. And then we bought this couch and a few other things that you can't see because they're on the other side. But yeah, it's just meant to be a peaceful, happy room. I'm going to add a chandelier in here in the next few weeks as well, and possibly even bring a table in the middle so I can film some at a table or maybe do seance things at the table. So there we go. Let's see. Here we go. Spirits say there are a lot of animals in heaven: dogs, cats, horses. Yep. The light in the corner is odd. You would think you would be able to see it off camera as well. No, is it still there? Because it's still there. We see nothing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
There is nothing here.
You know what?
What is it?
I think it's the amethyst.
Yeah, but how come we don't see it in person?
I don't know, but I think it's something's reflecting off the amethyst. Maybe.
I'm gonna test that theory. Hold on.
It's the only thing that it could be.
All right, let me know. Let me know if it goes away.
Nope.
All right, I'm gonna take the whole.
Yeah. Nope.
It's not the amethyst. All right,
no,
so
I was wrong. I thought
maybe
it
was this.
I thought it was like maybe the light.
This thing's heavy.
I thought it was maybe the light bouncing off the side of the crystal. But
so
no.
I see nothing here.
So it has to be.
Is it still there? What is that?
This.
All right, how about the poltercom? Nope, it's not the poltercom.
Nope, it's not that.
That's really weird.
Weird.
So there's nothing here because it would be blocking the reflection.
Yeah.
Maybe, hold on. Let me stand over here. I'm going to try to block it.
Still there.
That's weird. It's not the, let me, hold on 1 second. It's still there.
Still there.
I turned off the light. What is that? You know, it's got to be from the camera lens. Hold on. Has to be.
Could it be one of these pin things?
That's what it is. It's the, let me see if I can turn, I can't turn it right now. But there's a light, see? It's my umbrella, and because it was out of focus, it looks like something there. So solved.
Mystery solved.
Solved. All right. So let's see. Do you recommend that my husband and I, oops, see,
Yeah, did it again.
do spirit communication together, or is that distracting to spirit? Some days he's on and I don't feel it, and vice versa. Other times I feel we both connect. I guess that would depend on if I would say if you're both into it, for that moment, then definitely, because if you have double that energy, I think the results would be better. Like if on days that I really am driven to do a session for some reason, if there were two or three of me duplicated, I think that the session would explode. So the more people into it, as long as you both have the belief and know it's real and all of that stuff, I believe both of your energies would be more productive. But if one of you is not into it or doesn't feel like it, that could be harmful to the session. So I guess just play it by ear is what I would say. Um, okay. Thank you. Thank you. For the past 10 months, Maria, I have been communicating with the ego with your help. It's coming up on 31 years that I've lost my father, and I would like to contact him, but so much time has passed. We can try for your father in this month's group session coming up here in a few days. So yeah, we can try for that this time. That's a long time, and I always find it a lot more challenging if that long of time has gone by, but I don't think it's impossible. Now, Debbie should get to decorate the other room. Yeah, the other room looks awful right now. It's like, it's empty. There's like some junk on the floor I have to clean up. And yeah, I gotta
Yeah, we
paint
have
that room and
to figure out what we're doing with it too.
yeah, I'm not so sure yet. Maybe it'll either be like something, I'll put like a treadmill in it, or it'll be another bedroom, but it's so tiny. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's small.
Treadmill only because I'm so out of shape. I don't get enough exercise. So going to be turning 50 here soon. So I need to start staying in shape.
50's nothing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm out of shape.
I can say that because I'm already 50.
All right, where are we at? Not sure what we are getting ourselves into, but if you guys can make it 11 p.m. Saturday night Eastern time, for what? I'm not sure
For
what
Waverly
you're asking.
Hills.
Oh, for
Waverly
Waverly Hills. Okay. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of how many days that is. Like 6 days away.
Hey, Candy. Oh yeah, were you talking about the thing we found out what it was? Leanne Nicholson, I have an Olympus digital recorder. Do you advise that I use that to record sessions when using phone apps like Necrophonic to capture communication that doesn't come through in real time? If that's what you have, you can use it. You could use your phone. You can use a 1986 tape recorder. You can use the digital recorder. You can use your phone shooting video. You can use a camera that shoots video. You can use anything. It doesn't matter as long as you record it and then review it and review it carefully. Because sometimes, when you do this for a long time, as Josh can attest to from Hope, your ears sort of get trained to hear when it's a spirit reply. Like when I listen back to footage, there'll be some radio or something that's not spirit, and then there'll be a spirit, but the inflection's different, the speed is usually different. And I know I have to go in there and study that portion of audio by either slowing it down, turning up the volume on that portion, or whatever. I rarely clean it up unless it's a DR60, and sometimes I do that. But yeah, definitely record it. And then the more you do that, the more you'll start to recognize when it's a spirit as well. Okay. What camera would you recommend for recording sessions? Again, it doesn't really matter. Anything in your budget, anything you have laying around is fine. I happen to have a selection of cameras that range from cheap to very expensive, but I review cameras for a living, so manufacturers send me them from time to time, and I get to use them and test them. And then when one's really, really good, I end up buying it for myself. But Yeah, any camera you have a budget for. Let's see. Thank you, Kevin. Have you thought about doing in-person sessions with small groups or possibly teaching and working with others? Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, that's what Josh and I have been talking about for a year, to do events where people who are interested in building a connection and learning about all of this firsthand and getting firsthand experience with us in person and going over how we record and review and edit and all of that stuff. Um, it's just really hard to make happen because it actually takes a lot of money to put together, and neither of us are rich. So but we really want to do that, and I just don't know what the interest would be. I know many of the members might be interested, but I don't know if there's enough interest to, say, schedule like 2 or 3 events a year. I'd have to figure that out. All right. Let me get back on track here. Ashley B., my friend Sam passed away May 20th, 2003. Wish I could hear from him. Make sure you meditate on him for the next group session, and you might. I downloaded Spiritus, and it seems to be a great app. Yeah, that app's been around for a while, and it's always been good. And there's so many different ways to use it because there's 4 audio banks, there's different effects, there's the visual aspect to it. Definitely well worth the $12 or $13. Didn't realize I could still comment on my phone. Yeah, that's awesome. Some people can't. Sometimes people have.
I can't.
Let's see. Leanne, when my husband and I conduct sessions, there are times when we simultaneously feel very strong tingling in our legs, arms, and even our neck, head. Would you consider this a solid affirmation? Try this. Ask when you feel that, and then it goes away. Ask the spirits if that's you touching me or going through me, can you do that again? And if you feel it again almost instantaneously, then I would say it's definitely spirit. But usually that usually is a spiritual thing. You'll feel it, and I feel it sometimes on my head here, my shoulders here a lot, the upper back, around here. I felt it through my whole body, but it's most common up here, right? So yeah. Candy, you and Josh need to do that. I know. It's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. Thank you, Geneva. Hope all's well. Angela here. Great to see Debbie. I'm late, but made it. Was visiting my parents for Thanksgiving. Wait, is it Thanksgiving?
Oh, I think it's Canadian. I think it's Canadian.
Oh, is that? Okay, I didn't even know that.
I thought, yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. That's awesome.
I read that today.
Awesome. I always hear lyrics, Geneva, and I'm pretty sure it's how spirit is talking to me and only just realized. Have you ever had that happen? Not personally, but I know someone has happened to. So you're not alone in it. And it's possible. I mean, it's definitely possible. Okay. Oh, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Well, still, I had no idea, because ours is not till like next month, November. So, all right. So we're only 33 minutes in, and I've caught up to all the questions. Do you have any other questions?
How's that possible?
Yeah, it's hard to get these scheduled right because I know there's times where people are not available. There's quite, there's a few hundred members here, and there's 30 here. So not everybody goes to every live, but yeah, sometimes we have 10 in here, sometimes we have 50, all depends. Mm-hmm. And if we get caught up with the questions, that's usually rare, but it's happened right now.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
I tried to use the setting that you use in your last video. However, did not get it to work half as good as you. What setting did you have on your portal? I have a Wonderbox Red. With the portal, I always have the noise reduction on, even if I'm using an app without noise. I just feel it works better with it on in the chain. And I set that to around 10 a.m. Then I had the reverb on, and I set the reverb to kind of like where it had trails, where it was that washy kind of reverb sound, but not too overdone that makes it hard to hear. But yeah, that's interesting. So my theory on that would be is something that I mentioned in the video. Like I could sit here and turn it on right now, and actually I'll do that, and probably will not hear anything but gibberish. But let's see. For me, I have to really be focused. I have to um, know that there's a spirit here. Like I will feel them come in. But if there's not a spirit there, you're just going to hear gibberish. It's not going to sound the same. And when they do connect, it kind of changes the whole sound of the app in many ways. But let's turn this on now. I'm curious. Turn it up. So I have Spiritus here, 2, 3, and P. That's what we want to turn it on. Oh, and I want to turn my audio on the phone. There we go. All right, so if there's any spirits here, if you guys hear anything, let me know, because I can't really hear it very well. Is there anyone here right now? We are live. Hello? This is Steve. Light? Or there was something said right there. You want to say anything to anyone in the comments in the group here? We're just trying a little experiment. Is this working? All right, let me turn this off for a second. So I heard a couple answers that I know they're answers because of the sound of them. I don't know what was said because I can't make it out in real time most of the time. So I bet if I go back and play that section back and listen on my computer, I'll be able to make it out. But you guys might have heard something. But yeah, the whole app will change once I get in that mode where I'm focused and my mind is blank. Now, you saw in that video earlier where they told me when I went in to test it, and I didn't meditate, I didn't really focus that much, but I was in the session room and they said, clear your mind. That's really important to do. If I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, oh, I got to pay that bill tomorrow, or, you know, oh, I have to paint that room tomorrow, then I'm not going to get any results. If my mind is clear, it's almost like a blackness. I take an eraser and I erase everything out of my mind, and then I can start to focus on spirits coming in. That's when they start to take over the apps. So there's a lot to it. It's kind of just practice. But and even if it sounds different, make sure you record and play back, because you might hear something that you didn't hear in real time. All right, that was a long answer. Which crystals do you recommend to use during sessions for improved communication? I use a lot of quartz, but anytime I buy them from Amazon, I'm extremely disappointed. I don't like them, any that I've gotten from Amazon. So I basically, or we go to a local shop that we really like, and what's it called? Buried Treasures in Phoenix, and they have some really beautiful pieces, but they're a little pricey. That's the only thing, so I can't get too many of them. But when I make a new portal, I go there and I handpick a crystal. I also like amethyst, as you saw. I showed the big amethyst crystal we have sitting over there. What else? There are also a couple of like rare crystals that I never heard of, but yet the local shop claims they're for connecting with spirits. And I forgot what that one was called, but a little one that sits on my portal was like, it was crazy expensive. Remember that little yellow one?
Yeah, what was it? I have it written down, but
she has it written down, but I don't remember the name of it. But it was crazy expensive. Yeah. But you know, it's mostly just quartz. Like I'd love to have a big quartz piece in here, but they're so pricey. Beautiful though. How do I know who my guides are and how to listen to them? There's a meditation you can do on how to connect with your spirit guides. I did one for the Patron Gold members as part of the masterclass series. But if you go on YouTube and search how to connect with spirit guides, look at the first couple minutes of a few and see which one kind of you feel connected to, and watch it and give it a try. Because years ago, how I found mine was through a video I found on YouTube. And I saw a few that were kind of not very good. And then there was this one that just felt right. And I did it and I learned the names, and it's been like that ever since. Okay. I'm just reading comments here. My husband passed 2 months ago. So sorry to hear that, Denise. I have not felt or dreamt about him. You mentioned pain, emotional issues blocking connections and sessions. Can I also block my husband from communicating with me if he has tried? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe. I think that would come in time as far as in dreams. So, like, don't write it off just yet. Kind of be really open to it, which you may already be. But yeah, I really don't have a solid answer to that question because I'm not experienced with that particular thing. Oh my God, I didn't miss y'all. Lisa, we're still here. We're still here for a little while. Thank you. Hi, Steve and Debbie. Have you ever asked the spirits about the Prince of Peace photo drawn by, I can't even see, Kane Kemerick at age 8? Oh, I know that. I know that. We watched a documentary on her. Remember the girl who was painting the spiritual photos saying they were coming from God or something?
Yeah.
I was fascinated with that. And that talent of that girl is astonishing.
Amazing.
How at that age you can paint like that, I have no idea. So I watched it and I said, she has to be guided spiritually, because how do you do that, right? I used to draw as a kid, but nothing like that. And if I tried to paint, it would be awful. So there's some kind of talent within her that I feel was given to her. But yeah, I never thought of asking the spirits about that. But thanks for bringing that up, because maybe I'll ask that in the next session, actually. I don't know if they'll answer. A lot of times spirits don't answer every question. Necrophonic, do you prefer to do sessions with or without reverb, echo, white noise? We usually just do reverb. Yeah, I don't use echo. I can't stand the echo. I usually click on the reverb, and that's about it on necrophonic. And that's another thing. Sometimes I'll turn it on and I just hear the gibberish. And there's been a couple times where I turn it on and I hear clear voices answering my questions. It's a crazy thing. So if you turn it on and you just hear gibberish, that's the app working as it should. And when you start to hear answers coming in that you understand, when you play the recording, sometimes you'll hear them in real time. Then you'll know spirits are there connecting. But I only use reverb. The white noise, don't ever use it. That is useless for spirit communication. That's like old school thought before we understood how it is that spirits speak. So I would not recommend white noise or the echo, but experiment, see what you like best. I rarely feel spirit in my house, says Geneva, but everywhere else all the time. Wow, that's crazy. Well, the thing is, like, I'll say spirits are here all the time. I have the ability to turn it off these days, where I won't feel or hear or anything. If I don't want to be in that space, I can turn it off. But once I get in that space and turn it on, boom, here they are. But they're more attached to me than the house. And I find that in general, like, even, if you have someone, say you're talking and you're getting good connections and you're getting amazing results, that spirit is attached to you, at least during that time. And I have spirits that seem to rotate in and out of me, like Billy and Ed, and used to be Ava. And anyway, yeah, I forgot the question. Oh yeah, it wasn't a question. You feel spirit everywhere else. Now, if you're out, right, in public, there could be people. Like, I used to say, spirits seem to love where people are, the mall and movie theaters. And now I see that as that's because spirits are attached to people. I feel that we all have spirits attached to us, whether it's a guide, a loved one. And that doesn't mean they stay all the time. I think they come and go. But yeah, so if you're out and you feel them, I bet you're feeling it from everyone else who has them attached. That's just a theory of mine anyway. Let's see. Okay, now there's a lot of questions. Wow, okay. I'm having a hard time, Mike says, using ITC apps. I'm trying so hard to focus. Do you think some people just don't have it? It's a good question. What are you finding hard about using them? Do you mean getting results, or during the session you can't focus or your mind wanders? All I can say is when you turn that app on and you're recording, try to close your eyes, envision a blank black space, and just start to be receptive and open to feeling spirit. And you might see within your mind's eye a form coming in, and then you might feel that form physically. Um, Record, keep it short. Don't run it for like an hour or two. I see some people on YouTube running apps for like 2 hours, and they record it and post the video and they don't review it. To do this takes dedication, takes persistence, takes trust, love. And if you're trying, say, twice a week to connect with an app and it's just not working and it's been months, then maybe it is possible that some people can't do it. Now, I believe everybody can do it, but I'm not positive on that. So it's hard to say, but either keep trying or try a different app or technique. I did find it saying things. It was very different from what it used to be when I turned on everything. Interesting. Hi guys, late as usual. Hi Stacy. Yeah, we have like 14 minutes left. All right.
Meditation first, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a question for Debbie. Now that you have experienced spirit communication firsthand with Steve, how do you feel about this kind of work now? I don't think I've ever asked her that question.
Well, if you're asking if I'm no longer afraid, and it's opened my eyes to believing that anything is possible.
If you didn't see that video where she sat down and the portals in front of her and they were totally responding to her with clear answers, because I was like, let's see what happens. And it's part of it's in the trailer, which many of you have seen. And there's a video, I forgot what it's called. It's something about apps, like how to use apps. And it's got that in it. It was really cool. But yeah, she used to be afraid of it, like really afraid of it when she first moved in, because of course you don't understand it. It's all of a sudden, you're hearing these voices come through a box. I would do sessions at night and she'd be in bed hearing it. And, so yeah, it can be scary when you're not familiar with it. It used to scare me. And now that I know the reality of it, and that what TV and Hollywood pumps out is just to scare you for ratings, that's not real. There are real things to be scared of, or to worry about. Don't be scared. But as long as you have that love and light, and vision God's energy, all of that stuff, and that you can't be hurt unless you really fear it, which is what scrambles your mind, then I believe you'd be okay with it. But
right.
Yeah. But yeah, she's not afraid of it at all now.
No. People scare me far more than spirit ever does.
Yeah, that's right. People are worse than spirit. Some people, of course, not.
Yeah.
Maria, my cat cries at nothing in the corner. What do you think about cats seeing spirits? I think they can.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so much evidence of cats especially being able to see spirit, and you see that all the time. So I believe that your cat's probably seeing something, right?
Remember when Baby used to watch something on the floor all the time?
Our dog.
I swear it was a spirit trying to play with her, because she would follow it like you would follow a toy.
There was an old video where she was doing that, and a response came in. I was running at something while she was doing that, and the response was microscopic mouse. So then I was like, is it a ghost of a mouse running around? I don't know. It was really interesting.
We've not seen your dogs in a while. How are they? You can probably hear them.
They're outside of the double doors. They're barking at something. We kind of locked them out. Otherwise, they'd be all over us. And, they're attention fiends. They're spoiled rotten.
Yeah, so if they're not barking, they're sitting right outside the door just looking in at us, because they want to be in here.
All right. Gina Russell. Do you know of any prayers to close a session with? So the spirits don't follow us home. How can we avoid spirit attachments? I don't think we can avoid spirit attachments, but I also don't look at spirit attachments as a negative thing. Most of the time, when they attach, in my belief, they're not causing any harm. They're there because I really don't know. I don't know if they're there if they attach to me all the time because they know I'm always communicating. But there was also that reply that came in the session I posted today where the spirit said he wanted a body. And I've had responses where they said when they're attached, they can see through our eyes. So maybe some attach, and maybe they attach to me all the time because I'm so open that they just do. And maybe they experience life again. That's a possibility. That's a theory. I don't know if that's fact. Um, but I don't see attachments as bad unless they're a bad attachment, of course. But as far as closing prayers, I'll be honest with you. I haven't done a closing prayer in a long, long time because it's already here. The closing prayer is my belief that I am protected, I won't be hurt. Nothing can harm me unless I I give that evil power by worrying about it. And if it's something you worry about, then I would just before I leave, I would just close my eyes and say a short prayer, something like, um, if any spirits are here with me or attached to me, you are not allowed to come home with me. You must stay here. I enjoyed talking with you. Thank you, but I do not want you to follow me home. I do not want you to attach to me. And then envision the light coming down and filling your body, which I close my eyes and I see a light stream coming down through my head into my body and kind of exploding out of my body. And in my belief, that clears out anything bad in the room or in me when I do that. And I usually do that during group session a lot, and in some sessions where I might feel some weird energy. But yeah, just say whatever you're comfortable with saying. There's no set words for you. So say what you want to say, believe it, and you should be okay. Ashley, I love amethyst. I wear amethyst crystal to help fight anxiety. Yeah, I love amethyst too. It's so beautiful. Um, Jennifer, do you ever feel strong feels and pulls in shops of secondhand objects or flea markets? I have. There's sometimes we go to antique shops, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I want this. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why. So yeah, that's happened, and,
Mm-hmm.
and there could be reasons for that, right? Mike, my father is very ill. I want to tell him ahead of time to go see you. When he passes, he's an atheist, and I want to tell him everything will be okay. I can see he's thinking about things, suggestions. Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't believe, but I mean, there is something after this life. That's without question. There's no debate as far as I'm concerned. But it's hard to get other people to believe that when they have no experience, right? Unless you have, like, if I never had these experiences, I'd probably not be a big believer in a lot of these things because unless I experience it, it's hard to believe. I would just, if I was in that situation, I would just try to make them as comfortable as possible. Let them know the things maybe you've seen from people like me, and that it's not fake, that it's all real, and there is a place after death, and you know. So yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm sorry he's very ill. Gonna listen to it again. Just ask Diego to say my name. My late husband. This is from Mita. My late husband visited me in a dream, and when I asked him how he is, he said, "I'm sweating." Any idea what that would be about? I don't, but I've had a couple of replies over the years where they talked about sweating or being hot, or some have said they were cold. I really don't know. It could be a memory. Like when I do groups, they'll say weird things. And that's why I tell people to watch and really think, think back and see if that triggers something in your memory. Because this could be an odd memory, um, from that spirit saying sweating because maybe he remembered there was something in life, an occasion where he was sweating so bad. And somehow, I don't know why this would be. I don't know why spirits say weird things like that. I don't know. because they'll just say the oddest things, like for memories. It's not the same as you or I talking, and that's because they don't have a physical shell. They don't have a brain. They use us. But yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. Uh, let's see. Do spirit enjoy candles? I've had spirits ask me to light the candles. Um, it seems like they do. They like music. Have you ever seen shadow figures? I was a little skeptical of them until I saw one for myself. What are your opinions on whether they are positive or negative? I don't have an opinion on shadow figures because I don't see them. I know it's easy to see something with the corner of your eye, but I've never seen a shadow figure. I've seen a blue electrical outline hovering above me. I've seen another type of figure, but never a shadow figure. I know a lot of people experience that though, so I don't think I have the experience to answer that question of whether they're positive or negative. I don't know. I can only speak of the experiences I have. I wish I knew. I have a bulldog and Staffy. I'd not live my life without dogs in it. Yeah, I mean, I've always had dogs. We've always had
Yeah, we've
dogs.
always had dogs.
So sometimes they're a pain, but
Mhm.
especially when they're this little and they have to be attached to you at all times. And they lay on their back and want a belly rub like 5 times a day.
Well, Olive, her breed is known as the Velcro dog,
Yeah,
so she has to be
she's like
attached all the
Velcro.
time, like Velcro.
Something odd for me is I watch any foreign language video on YouTube, but all I hear is my spirits come through it, no matter what language.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the language of the audio. So, for example, you could go to. That's a good point because this is going to give you guys something to try if you want. Go to a spirit session video on YouTube if you can find one that's a foreign language. And when they're playing the box or whatever they're using, if it's foreign language, record the screen as it's playing and ask some questions. Chances are you'll get an answer in English because you speak English, or if you speak Irish, you'll get an Irish answer when you play that recording back. The audio doesn't matter. The Impossible Box app years ago was made, there was a mode in it with all non-English audio source, live non-English radio scanning. And all I've ever received from it were English replies. But if you just play it, you hear all the foreign radio. So yeah, language doesn't matter. They will speak to you in whatever language you speak because, as I said, the spirits, if they're with you, they'll go into you to use the device or your recording device, for example. So if you're recording a image or a video on screen in a foreign language and you have a spirit attached to you, they will change that on your recording device to English. It's kind of weird. Like I know a lot of people get confused by that. I've had people email me not understanding, but yeah, I don't know how they do it. No idea, but they do. All right, we got 3 minutes left, guys. I have experienced spirits my whole life. How old were you when you first became aware of your gift? I mean, I don't know what this is. I just know that I have some kind of ability to be able to connect with, feel, hear, see, record um, the dead, and other people do this as well. But I often wonder why. And Josh and I have talked about this. We're like, is it weird that there's not like thousands of people out there doing this and getting the same exact results? Like, I sometimes think about that. Why is it? Because I'm not bragging, but it's kind of easy for me to do it. But I think I've learned over the years what it takes to do it, which I've talked about many times. But um, when I was little, I loved everything ghosts. I wanted to believe in ghosts, and I was fascinated. I've told the story how when I was young, 7, 8, or 9, I don't remember, I had my mom take me to see a life after death movie in the theater called Beyond and Back. That changed my whole outlook. I started reading ghost books from the library. I had a Ouija board at age 9. I used to use it with friends in my room, which used to be in the basement of my parents' house. Never had any bad experiences ever with the Ouija board. But it's almost, when we did use the board, it worked really, really well. So I don't know if this is just something that's always been with me, but it wasn't until about 11 years ago, 10 years ago, that I really became uber fascinated with it when spirit boxes came out, and here we are today. Have you ever thought of putting more metals in your boxes, using more quartz? Yeah, I've put, there's an array of magnets in some of them, rare earth magnets. There's copper, gold, sterling silver. There's quite a few things I've put into some boxes, not all of them. I made one, the signature portal, and that had like everything in it, and it sounded amazing. I only made 3 of them. And I regret selling the last one because I should have kept it. They're so dang expensive to make. All right, so we're going to close this out. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in. This was Debbie's first live. I'm sorry if I took up all the talking time. Maybe she should just do one by herself. How about that? All right, so we're going to close this out. If I can remember how to do it. Oh, yeah, here we go. End stream. Oh, up. Bye.